Alrighty, I'm back on the trail. I went to those Baron Frock's Provisions place, and I had like this trout breakfast sandwich with trout, tomatoes, and cream cheese on a bagel. And, well, I realized those things don't go together for me. It was okay, it was edible, but the trout with cream cheese, just no fromage on the pesce, you know what I mean? No cheese on the fish. Here we have Monotropa uniflora, the parasitic plant in the blueberry family, Ericaceae. It's called Indian pipes, and it's parasitic on a fungus that it basically feeds it, produces, and then it has these little spore-like seeds that float around, find their fungus, regrow. It's actually considered a shrub, believe it or not. And it's here and there up here in the Catskills. Not as common as it is in southern New England. Right there we have some more Dendrolycopodiums. Right there. Probably Obscurum, the flat-branched. Right here we have Acer pennsylvanicum, or the striped maple, aka moose maple. It's a common shade tree. Gets probably 40 feet tall. And it likes more northern latitudes and more higher elevation. You do not find it along the coast. Not at all. Here we have Ostrya virginiana. It's the first one I've found so far. It's a birch family tree, and it's a shade tree. Grown with the paper birch, the striped maples, a few red maples, like this one here. It's Acer rubrum, eastern hemlock. That's cool, Ostrya virginiana. Here we have an ash tree in the genus Fraxinus. And you can see all these little round boreholes. And you can see that the tree is declining, not too many branches, and that is from the emerald ash borer, which is a beetle that burrows into the bark of the ash, basically the cambium, the living layer, and it just destroys it, eats it all. And then it girdles the tree slowly dies, and then either they come out and make round boreholes to, you know, complete the reproductive stage, become a beetle, go fuck something, and then lay some more eggs in an ash tree, or it's from woodpeckers, pecking at the larvae within and eating them. That's sad to see. Almost all ash trees I see are getting affected by it. Here we have Pseudomogedon attenuatus, or the tree skirt moss, going on the skirt of this tree. Isn't that nice? Pseudomogedon attenuatus. One of the larger Ostryas I've seen. This one's almost a foot around. Looks like it does have a little bit of decay. You can see the fungi there. But over the size of my hand, typically they're more like this wide. So it's cool to see big ones like this. Ostrya virginiana. Looking at this part of the forest, you can see that it's just beginning to become second succession, because you have these small shrubby mountain laurels. All these are pretty young. None of them mature, probably between like 5 and 20 years old. A lot of the trees in this forest, like those white birch over there, are first succession. Red oak is first succession. Whereas the striped maple, that's second succession. Same thing with beech and hemlock. But occasionally they can come up during the first, I guess, iteration of a forest. But trees like the white birch here only grow in full sun conditions. And that can be said with the red oaks and the poplars too. The populus. So this is just the beginning of a second succession. And it's further proved by, there was a little sign over there that said this area was extensively logged in the early 19th century. So this makes about sense. It takes about 100 years for a forest to start becoming second succession. This forest reminds me a lot of slopey lands in southern New England. It's almost the same, I guess, same species cast. Whereas a few trees have been replaced by, more northern species, like the white birch, or the paper birch there, replaces black birch. If this is black birch, this would be a normal southern New England forest. I mean, you got beech, you got mountain laurel, You got hemlocks. The only other outliers are the occasional striped maples, like these guys right here. These you don't find in southern New England. They're more a northern New England plant. See another one right there with its nice, almost kind of reddish bark. That's cool. We also got the witch hazel, another really common plant associated with southern New England forest. And the only outlier being these striped maples. They're as occasional as the witch hazel. As you don't usually see witch hazels, you know, become an entire forest. Occasionally you'll get like a patch of them, whereas mountain laurel forms an entire forest. So striped maple is just another kind of patch tree. And I guess patch trees would be, you know, muscle carpinus. It would be Australia. It would be the striped maple right here. Witch hazel's another one. What else? Australia. And corylus. So there's about, you know, 7 to 10, maybe more, southern New England species that are more patch plants. You know, they'll occur in patches. And then the rare trees are like, oh look, that's nice. The rare trees being like, you know, pinkster rhododendron and maybe hackberry. I don't really see much hackberry. What the heck is this? Is this a snack? No, it's someone's little ice spike that fell off. Interesting. Well, anyways, I forget what I'm talking about, so you get the gist. Look at that beautiful layered sandstone. That's awesome. This is like a sandstone glacier erratic. Or it could just be sloughed off from the peak. Why am I going downhill? You know, I thought I was going up. I thought I was going up towards the top. More Australia there. So, in this valley, you have a pine talus slope. Probably a creek that runs down the middle, or even a waterfall. And then it's just like, so it's super steep going down the hill. So that's like steep ravine, which is, I guess, a common, it's like a slope, you know, it's super steep slope, a talus slope. And then you get towards the valley, and it kind of cools off a little bit. It's not as steep. It's about as steep as like your normal hill in southern New England. Same thing with the kind of tops of these. Like, some of them are as steep as hills I've seen around here. It's just, these are just really big New England type hills. Like, this is probably what southern New England's hills looked like before glaciers and just years of erosion. This is probably the size of them. It's about like 2,000 to 3,000 feet tall mountains, whereas New England's are like, they get up to 500.